I hate to admit this, but this review started 2 hours ago. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is another lawnmower review. Now, I know it doesn't really fit in with the RC brand of the channel, but hopefully when we mow the lawn with a robot, we have more time to play with RC cars. So this is the E400 from Yardcare. They were nice enough to send this out to me for review, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the cheapest robotic lawnmowers that you can buy on Amazon. I think it comes in at about $400. They do have some coupon codes every now and then, but I've had it charging and set up the boundaries, and I'll kind of show you some little things that I've noticed so far. I haven't run it yet, so we're gonna see how it does together. But when I mentioned that this review started 2 hours ago, it's because step one of this thing is setting up the perimeter with this wire that it comes with. Now it says it's 100 meters of wire, and I was gonna do kind of a square just to get this thing all set up, but I went all out and I did a pretty big perimeter here. So they give you 100 of these little stakes, show you right here, and you have to individually push them down and make sure this wire goes in one side. It gives off like a little electromagnetic field of some sort. It says it's safe for pets and humans, but I'll show you the perimeter here. You do have to keep it about a foot away from the side of your house or objects, so I have it going all the way down here, and the lawn is pretty thick today. It's been about a week since I've mowed it, but it's gonna go all the way down here, around here, down to the stream, all the way to the shed, all the way to those bushes, come all the way up and back. And I've seen a couple reviews on this thing so far, and the one thing that nobody has really showed it doing is mowing the lawn too well. So that's the perimeter. You can see here it comes all the way around. Got it pressed in every 3 or 4 feet. Put in one of those little stakes. So like I said, I'm pretty skeptical. This thing is about 400 bucks. Far cry from the $4,000 robotic lawnmowers that I've seen online. So it does have a nice app. You have to register your device here, but you can schedule when it will mow. Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff: charging station, edge mowing, Wi-Fi settings. It does have a rain sensor on it. This is my first time even starting it up. Let's see how it goes. There are different height settings. I have it on the highest mowing setting, and we're just gonna let it do its thing. All right, it's spooling up. Now, another thing I probably should have showed you, but the cutting radius is about 6 inches. So to do my entire lawn, this is gonna take a really long time. And I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to the way that it cuts. So if you're looking for a device that's gonna have nice, crisp mow lines back and forth, I don't think this is your item. You can see the tire tracks take up about half the mow line, and the mowing radius is literally 6 inches. So it is cutting it pretty well. And what I'm noticing on the battery is that, or on the app, is that the battery dies real quick. It did one mow line and we're already at 91%. I'm hoping this thing doesn't get like caught up in the grass and just get stuck out here. So there you go, it hit the thing there, and it's just going kind of off on its own in a 90-degree pattern. It got one line so far. I think this thing is Not gonna be the greatest mower. I might set up a time lapse and see how long this thing lasts, and we'll get back to you. Alright, this little guy is still mowing away here. So far, we've got one pass down this way. Came over here. Came all the way down here in a straight line. Took a little 90-degree turn. Was able to bump into the tree. It does have an obstacle avoidance, so it hit the tree and turned itself. Then it went back this way. And he's still going. All right, this is gonna be a real long pass. We got a nice straight line all the way down there. I think it might take all week to just mow one full pass. That's what I'm really worried about, is there's nothing really telling it where it's already been. There's nothing in the app that you can remote control it on your own. There's nothing in the app that allows you to kind of set it and remember where it's gone. So we're just gonna let it do its thing. Get back to you in a little bit. Checking back in again. We're at about 40% battery left, and we are nowhere near halfway done. This guy's probably laughing at me right now. I'll have that whole lawn mowed in 20 minutes. Yikes. Yeah, this is gonna take at least a couple of full battery passes to get the whole lawn, and even then I feel like you're gonna have some big areas that just never get cut. This whole center area, there's like 2 lines that have been passed through. I mean, it only goes to there. This isn't a huge area. If I used a regular lawnmower, I'd probably have it done in maybe a half hour. Bagging it, that is. So once again, really no rhyme or reason at the path that it takes. Once it hits your boundary line, it's gonna make a 90-degree turn and kind of go from there. So it's almost like one of those vintage video games where you're kind of bouncing balls and hitting angles and stuff. My lawn is gonna look crazy. It mentions that it has a rain sensor on it, and it's starting to sprinkle out, and this thing is still running. I'm not sure how hard it needs to be raining for this thing to stop, but still running. Maybe I was looking at this all wrong. This ain't so bad. You missed the spot. it just stopped for a second and it stopped cutting. I checked the app and it's at 20% battery and it's saying returning to charging station. So we're at 20% battery. I'm a little concerned because the charging station is over there and it's going this way. What I think it does is it finds the perimeter, which would be like right around here, and then it walks the entire perimeter backwards until it gets to the charging station. So if that's the case, it's got to go all the way down here, all the way next to the shed, down, around, up the cart path here, and back to the charging station. Hopefully it can do all that in 18% battery. All right, here it comes. 17% battery left. All right, let's go take a look at the damage. I would say this probably did 25%, if that, of the lawn on a full battery. I'm not sure how often or how fast it's going to take to charge, but I'm going to see if I can schedule it to get right back out there as soon as it's fully charged, and I'm probably going to go do the front lawn. Now on full charge number 3. Just started, and as you can see, there's still a ton of spots that it hasn't hit yet. I have it scheduled to run basically non-stop until like 9 a.m. tomorrow. So it's gonna run a full battery, go back, charge, go back out, and just do that on repeat all night. I'm hoping by the morning it's not stuck somewhere and most of the yard is done. I have a feeling that there's still gonna be a lot of spots that it missed, but we'll find out. So it absolutely downpoured last night and I found the robot stuck underneath the tree again on one of the roots. So when I woke up, grabbed it, put it back on the charger, and it's still kind of raining out a little bit and it decided to go back out. So I'm not really sure if the rain sensor actually works, but it's still plugging away. The lawn looks okay from up here, but there's still a ton of patches that have been missed. So I'm wondering maybe if I come back in a week, mow it all down the same length and just have it on constant mow. Maybe it'll keep up with it before it gets too long, but we'll check back again tomorrow. So that's it for the Yardcare E400 lawnmower review. Had it running for about a week, 3 to 4 hours a day. When I caught it getting stuck on some places, it might have been sitting out there for maybe an hour or two before I went and grabbed it, but basically 4 hours a day for 7 days, and it pretty much got the entire backyard that was roped off. There are still a couple spots where the grass is long, and even after 7 days, it didn't touch that area. So if you're looking for your lawn to be pristine with nice mow lines, this isn't the mower for you. I think this thing is maybe meant for maybe a second property, a rental property that has a nice square backyard or front yard, somewhere that doesn't have too many roots or obstacles in the way. This thing will probably get the job done. You can set it and forget it and not have to worry about getting stuck anywhere or, you know, something going wrong while you're not home. Now, if you're like me and your neighbor's yard abuts yours directly, you might want to have a talk with them and say, hey, I have an electric lawnmower that's going to be doing its thing. It could get mad at you. It could damage, you know, all sorts of different things. So definitely something to be aware of with that boundary line. And like I said, I'm probably going to retire this lawnmower after this video because I do not want to reset the boundary line. I could probably solder the two ends that got cut and splice it back together. I might do that depending on how ambitious I'm feeling, but I definitely don't want to take up that entire perimeter, pull up all those 100 different little spikes and place them all back around the backyard again. So depending on how ambitious I'm feeling, I might leave it. I might just rip the whole thing up, package it back in the box, and put it in the garage. If you were thinking of getting this for an elderly person or somebody that lives alone that doesn't want to mow their lawn, just know that you're probably going to need to set up that perimeter for them, because it's a lot of hands and knees work going around pushing those little pins in, those little spikes into the ground every 4 feet. It does take a while and it is pretty painstaking. I had some bruises on my thumbs and stuff just from pressing them in with my hands. So no, it did the job. It didn't do it as efficiently as I wanted it to. It was super sporadic, but after a week, the backyard looked a lot better than I was expecting. I think it was just because when I started this, the grass was super long and the areas that it had already mowed were more visible. Now that the backyard lawn is kind of all one length and it's kind of just maintaining that level, it doesn't look as bad. For $400 though, I'm not sure this is a lawnmower that I can recommend. The setup was a pain. The lack of features that the app had, if there was a way that you could remote control it from the app, that would be pretty cool. I feel like the technology is in the app for it to be able to do that. Within the last week, they updated the app, they changed some buttons around and stuff like that. So they are making gradual updates to it. If there was a way that you could GPS map your backyard or just a little bit more for that $400, I think it would be a really good lawnmower and something that you could just leave out there and not have to worry about mowing that area of your lawn. For that area in my backyard though, I use about half of the roll of wire. So it says that it can mow up to, I think it's 4,300 square feet. I'm not sure how that's possible with only the 100 spikes that they give you. Maybe if you can buy extra spikes and make that area bigger, you could use all of that roll of wire. Or maybe it's for just going around trees and stuff to kind of do that. But again, you're gonna need more spikes if you want to go bigger than how I did it. I pretty much used all 100 spikes and it barely made half my backyard. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you get one of the cheapest robotic lawnmowers from Amazon, or would you save up your money and maybe spend $1,000 on one? I've seen lawnmowers, there's stuff online right now, there's reviews already where the high-end remote control GPS lawnmowers go for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a robotic lawnmower. And I'm just thinking, for that price, you could probably just get yourself a lawn care service that'll come once a week, and that $6,000 is probably going to last you a few years if you're just having someone come over and mow your lawn. So something to think about for $400. I think it depends on what your backyard looks like and kind of what you want to get out of it. So thanks again for watching. If you want to see more lawn care reviews like this, let me know. I'll see if we can get some more mowers and things like that. Otherwise, stick around because there's going to be a lot more RC car videos in the future. See ya.